Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first in a series of instructional videos for your Accounting Information Systems Lab. My name is Jacqueline Samuda, and I am the person assigned to these labs for this semester. Now, in the past, we would have been using Peachtree, but for this semester, we are changing to QuickBooks. Now, when you look on screen, you will see that my screen looks differently from yours when you log into the labs on your desktop. But we share the same icon, which is QuickBooks. So let us double click to open it. Now, my screen looks a bit differently from yours because I have gone ahead and created a new company. But I'm going to now click to make my screen look like yours so that we can work through together in this first video. So what we have on screen here is an interview pop-up window, which if you are working on your own, you'll be guided by this. But because I will be walking you through the various steps, we don't need this. So I'm just going to ask you to click on Skip Interview. And we go to our first screen. This screen is Enter Your company information. And we have not provided you with any information here. The only thing that is needed is the company name. And if you look here at the bottom of this pop-up window, you will see that the red asterisk means required field. So therefore, the company name is the only data that you will be putting in on this screen for the project. Now, in real life, we would have completed all the relevant fields, and for the tax ID, the company's GCT number would have been placed here. But you would normally therefore enter your street address, the city, the country, the company's email address, and the company's website. Now, I am going to use this company's name, Technology Company. Oh, I can't spell technology. I can't spell company either. I don't know what is happening here. So all I'm going to ask you to do is to think of a name to place here on this window. Now, the company that you will be using or creating has computer stock as inventory. So the name you choose must reflect the nature of your business. So please do not put in this space James Shoes and Shirts Limited. It has to be a name that suggests technology. Now, I am going to ask that persons working within the labs, I don't want anyone to have the same name. So you need to ensure that the persons in the lab with you at this time are not using the name that you are using. So you're going to have a bit of conversation among yourselves to ensure that your names are not repeated. So I'm using Technology Company. So when you have decided on a name, you simply click Next to go to the next window. In this window, you are being asked what kind of business structure you'll be using. Now, you know that you have three options: sole trader or sole proprietor, a partnership, or one of these four here, which are company type businesses. We'll be using corporation. So please select corporation and go next. Now this screen is asking you what is the first month of your fiscal year. Now, for all intents and purposes in Jamaica, the tax authorities assumes that all businesses will have a fiscal year that runs from January to December. And that is the case with your company. In fact, your transactions that you'll be posting will be for the first 3 months of your financial year. So the system has automatically placed January, and we're going to accept January. We're not going to make any changes. And so we're going to go next. Here we now choose the type of business. Now, every business must have a set of general ledger accounts, which together we're going to refer to as the chart of accounts. In QuickBooks, depending on the industry that you're operating in, it assumes a series of general ledger accounts. So whether it is an accounting or bookkeeping business, or a car repair and sales business, or a church or religious organization, or the industry that you'll be operating in, which is information technology. So I'm going to click on it. Whichever business you choose, it suggests a series of general ledger accounts that will now constitute your chart of accounts. Now you can always go in afterwards and change that to suit your needs. So I'm going to accept this and we're going to go next. And that is it. So when we click next, what QuickBooks is going to do is to build the database framework to receive the information that is going to come up next about your customers, your vendors, and your stock items. So let's just click next. And QuickBooks will decide where on the computer it's going to save your record. So just accept where it has placed it. So it has created something called company files. So I'm just going to go ahead and click save. Then let's click next. I think I may have tapped this twice, hence this freezing up of my screen. Okay, congratulations. We have finished our interview. We have built the framework for the business. So let us now go to setup. So just click on this button that says go to setup. The next screen that comes up is the setup screen, which you are not going to be using because, as I said earlier, I'll be guiding you through these step by step. But if you're doing this on your own, QuickBooks would have shown you how to add your people, which would constitute your customers and vendors and employees. It would also assist you in adding your products and services as well as your bank account. But since we're not going to be doing any of these, I'm going to ask you to click on Start Working. Welcome to the home page for QuickBooks. Now, to wrap up this first video recording, I am just going to highlight one thing, and that is the workflow. All of these lines here, these arrows on our home page, is there for a particular purpose, to guide the non-accounting user the direction or the steps that one should take in recording transactions. Now notice how there are also icons on this home page. and the icons are grouped in a particular way. And so we have a vendor's box, we have the company box, and in this box we can access the chart of accounts, we can access our inventory. In banking, which is this box, we can write checks, we can record deposits or lodgements, we can look at the check register, meaning the list of checks that are generated. In our customer box, we have sales order icons, creating invoice, refunds and credits. And in our vendor box, we have enter bills and we have pay bill. Now the box down here labeled employees, I'm going to ask you to ignore those because we're not going to be interacting with the icons in this box, because this is a US based software, and so it does not relate entirely to our Jamaican situation. And if you remember, I had mentioned to you that a lot of companies use one system for their general ledger and another system for their payroll. And we are doing the same thing. We're using Microsoft Excel to manage our payroll. So for week two, we'll be revisiting this regarding capturing information about our employees' expenses. And so we will not need this block right here for that. Okay, well, that completes our first video, which talks about or provides instructions on how to create your company.